Most people miss this biggest red flag of narcissism. With myriad discussions swirling around the indicators of narcissistic abuse, countless red flags are unrelentingly waved in people's faces. Yet, one insidious and massive red flag often flies under the radar, overlooked by even the most revered experts in the field of narcissistic abuse recovery. What could this all-important warning sign possibly be? We're about to delve deep into the heart of the matter in today's eye-opening episode. In today's video, we'll unravel the mystery behind the biggest red flag that often goes undetected by those who suffer at the hands of narcissistic abusers. If you're so interested in this topic, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel. Your support contributes significantly to raising awareness about the pernicious effects of narcissistic abuse. Additionally, as a gesture of sincerity and commitment to your healing journey, I have compiled a comprehensive yet accessible resource exclusively for you. Introducing Narcissism 101, Early Warning Signs, Escaping the Trap, and Rebuilding Your Life, an invaluable tool to facilitate your recovery. To claim instant access, simply find the link provided in the description. Okay, so home should be a sanctuary of sorts, a haven of peace, a bucolic abode where one can truly be unguarded and vulnerable. But what if your home has morphed into a foreign and forbidding land, a place teeming with anxiety and fear? If you're experiencing an abject and gut-wrenching revulsion towards the mere idea of returning home, you must sit up and take note. Akin to an unresolved jigsaw puzzle, there's something awry, indubitably. Fine, individuals may avoid returning home because the expectations of doing chores, tending to familial obligations constituting an arduous task, or even fatigue after a grueling day at work. However, more often than not, such people possess an indefatigable and unshakable agape that persists with them even after leaving the work environment. This relentless disdain of returning home is not only an undeniable indication of a much larger problem, but also a harbinger of potential peril if ignored. Perhaps this lacerating aversion is advanced by an oppressively toxic individual who, at every available moment, sows seeds of enmity and conflict, contributing to the deleterious environment that has become your home. The simple act of returning home thus becomes an incredibly daunting prospect, and for a good reason, the interminable spree of abuse and torment. Well, the ripples of anxiety and dread on the cusp of returning home ensnare even the strongest wills, and one becomes paralyzed with fear, constantly stressing and straining every fiber to mitigate the possibility of further abuse. Right now, your refuge has become your prison, and your home has become an abode of terror. If you relate to this, then don't stop here. Just pause for a moment and seriously evaluate the kind of state you have found yourself in. Life is never supposed to be about constantly walking on eggshells, fretting over every single step taken, terrified of doing something wrong that could trigger the narcissist in your life. Your body is being ravaged by a never-ending stress response, pulsating and elevated at all times, which is not how it should be. You're meant to be at peace most of the time. That's how life should be. But right now, it's not. It's anything but relaxing. Your body just wants to escape this toxic environment. It's exhausted and depleted. Once the searing pain of bearing witness to a dysfunctional home life subsides and fades, it's replaced with a gut-wrenching feeling of continuing horror. You're never at peace inside your own home, forever feeling the malignant presence of a narcissist hovering over, following you, itching to engage in conflict over the slightest perceived slight. Even when attempting to indulge in mundane activities, like having a meal or watching TV, you're constantly on guard, bracing yourself for yet another verbal assault or altercation. It's a cyclical hell you cannot escape. For those who suffer in silence, home should be a tranquil refuge, a sanctuary of comfort, a space where they can be themselves, free of the shackles of anxiety and apprehension. But, unequivocally, for you, home has come to mean one thing: torture. And that's why you find yourself suffused with an insatiable yearning to flee, to leave this miserable existence behind, even if it's just for a little while. It's unacceptable. It's not normal. The fact that you must seek comfort and peace outside your own home is a testament to the reality that you currently find yourself in, one that is torturous and insufferable. It's one thing to have disagreements or conflicts, but it's quite another to dread returning home and have to measure every word uttered so as not to trigger the narcissist's rage within. Tread carefully. The impact this is having on you is more significant than the intent behind it. Seriously, what in the world is going on in your head? Are you so detached from reality that you fail to recognize the extent of damage this toxic individual has inflicted upon you? All you feel is an oppressive, unyielding exhaustion, sapping every ounce of energy, leaving you feeling drained, hollow, and bereft. You have become a mere husk, and they an unencumbered and malevolent entity preying upon your soul, a shameless energy vampire, sucking the life out of you. Listen, if you answered in the affirmative to even a single question, it's time to wake up and smell the poison in the air. It doesn't matter the degree to which this person is a narcissist. What's clear is that you're not safe around them. Please come to terms with the insidious reality. They're not your savior, they're your biggest enemy. Imagine this: when your childhood memory is inextricably intertwined with an acute sense of dread, that feeling of knowing that upon coming back home, there would be a caustic maelstrom of conflict brewing in the background, ready to pounce at any momentous occasion like clockwork at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. every single day. Trapped in a house with a malignant narcissist for a father and a covertly narcissistic mother, the trauma was so intense that you were powerless against it, an ever-present contaminant of the adversity-laced environment we were forced to occupy. It was unbearable, unwanted, unfathomable. There was no joy or happiness to be found, no sense of belonging, and no camaraderie. It was just an overwhelming loneliness, an acute painfulness that seemed to permeate every nook and cranny, making every breath taken seem like a cursed chore. No wonder you never wanted to be at home, desperately seeking out any chance to visit friends, even preferring to spend whole nights at their place, just to avoid the inevitable agony of being at home. That predictability, that knowledge that you wouldn't face the chaos, wouldn't have to walk on eggshells, wouldn't have to endure any more abuse. It was a welcome respite. It's beyond doubt that many of you share these sorts of experiences, being products of parents consumed by selfish, egotistical tendencies that you could never control. If you do, share your stories with us below so that we can help each other overcome the terrible pain and suffering of the past and feel finally validated. At this point, I beg of you, if your home life is anything close to resembling what I've described, if it's become your own personal hell, your torture chamber, then it's time to rethink your choices and reconsider the path you're currently treading. Take into account how you feel and how your body reacts to those feelings. Listen to that inner voice, as it will always tell you the truth, far more clearly than anything else ever could. Look at the impact they have on you, over the blind intent they profess. Home should never be a place of pain, but of comfort, of safety, of love. I hope this has been of some help. Let me know in the comments if you found this insightful. Share with others if it helped you, and stay tuned for more in the future. Let the healing begin and continue. Take the first step.